Hi, I'm Davóne Tines, and I'm a singer and creator. I like to make performance pieces and pieces of work that invite people into a very human way of existing. I think I figured that out when I saw that in classical music, which is where I entered performing arts, there was an implicit disconnection between artists and audiences, and then also that disconnection can kind of spill over into institutions, or maybe through more excavation, you find that the institution is upholding certain barriers to this sort of connection that I think is the actual intent of performing art. And that always seemed very curious to me. You know, it seemed like there was a clear raison d'etre of or some idea of what the raison d'etre of performing arts is or was, which is human expression and connection, but things were set up in a certain way to where those things weren't allowed to be fully incarnate. I worked in arts administration a lot after I graduated from Harvard University for undergrad, studied sociology, and working in that way as a production manager, stage manager, various administrative positions, and really seeing the inner workings of institutions, realizing that there was great potential there. And having that experience along with singing allowed me a certain knowledge and agency, so I could make things with the knowledge of how it worked in 360 degrees, what the audience was from a sociological perspective, how the thing could be supported from an institutional perspective, and how my artistic intentions could actually fit in that mold to communicate something I felt has a certain reality and honesty. The fact that it's actually a home brings a dimension that automatically interacts with whatever's in it, and it being a museum, it kind of has this two-spirited way of, there's the ghost of an existence that happened here, but also the reality that it is housing things in a real time. And what's also fascinating is this is a very particular type of home, coming from a certain socioeconomic, social context and background that not many Americans have exposure to. So to be experiencing art in this context is, I think, a really interesting point of access, is a point of changing a narrative of what a grandiose space could be. And the very act of putting my grandparents' living room here, which is in, rural Northern Virginia, just a very different context, inside of this grand space, I think both things can resonate with each other and elevate each other.